here we are again. It's summer holidays. It's July 2016 and it's Tuesday today. We've just been into the marina to take on some fuel because in the morning we plan to set off pretty early, around about 5:20, and head off to the Isle of Man. So far we've been down here since Saturday, but the weather's been absolutely horrendous, especially yesterday. It was almost gale force yesterday and torrential rain, so today is a huge improvement. So we will see how it goes tomorrow. It's forecast to be a fairly good day, so let's hope we get a good crossing. So that's it for now. And it's 05:25 on Wednesday morning, and we're just about to drop the mooring and go to the Isle of Man. Passing Langdon Ridge Buoy. Well, we've been sailing for about 2 hours now. We're having to motor sail today. Very calm at the moment. Sea state's quite smooth. A bit of a swell, but we've just noticed in the distance that we can actually see the mountains of the Isle of Man. And we've got just under 23 miles to go now on the journey. Wind's still fairly light. It is picked up a touch, but we're still motor sailing. We've got the mainsail out assisting us as best we can at the moment. But it would be pretty slow going without the engine on at the moment, so we'll push on. The weather forecast today is deteriorating. It's going to be up to possibly gale force this evening, certainly off some of the north coast of Northern Ireland. So it's probably going to be sort of in the range of 6 to 7 where we're going. So we'll just keep pushing on and make landfall as soon as we can. Well, we've got about 10 miles to go now before we get to the Isle of Man. Strangely enough, the visibility is closing in a little bit. The island's quite shrouded in cloud now, whereas this morning it was very, very clear. We could see it from virtually when we left Holyhead. but the winds still remained about the same, so we've continued motor sailing. We should be in around about 20 to 1, something like that, and it's just starting to rain. Hey, get the courtesy flag up. That's it.
We arrived in Port St Mary and moored up against the wall of the Albert Pier, and we were soon joined by Swan Song, a westerly discus owned by David Bridges, and he was sailing with his brother Andrew and son Greg. Both Magic Hawk and Swan Song were correctly roped up to the wall, taking shorelines up to the bollards on the top. However, at midnight, another yacht joined the raft and tied on to Swan Song, but unfortunately didn't take a line ashore. At 2 a.m, when the tide was at its highest and the wind was very strong, causing a large swell behind the wall, we had an extra 6 tons hanging off our shorelines, which was not very pleasant. The guys on the other boat didn't get up at all to help and left David and I to sort out the situation. By 3 a.m, the wind had calmed enough to go back to bed, but when we got up in the morning, the other yacht had vanished.
And it's Thursday, 7th of July. We've just left Port St Mary and are going to go through Calf Sound and around to Peel. We had an absolutely horrendous night last night against the wall in Port St Mary. At the top of the tide at 2 a.m. It was really rock and roll, and the boats outside of us were basically crushing us against the wall. So we had to take quite a lot of action to save the ship. Well, we survived, and all we got was a few scratched fenders, so that's okay. We should be in Peel in around about 3 hours' time, and hopefully joining the Westerly Owners Association 50th anniversary celebrations.
Our westerly course meant that we had Chicken Rock and the lighthouse ahead, so after passing Spanish Head, we let Calf Sound open up before turning north to avoid pock markers closer inshore. The strong winds overnight had made the water in the sound quite confused, and it was difficult to steer the boat in a straight line. However, once we were past the Thusla beacon, the sea state became very smooth indeed.
We'd like to leave about 2:30 if possible. Would that be okay?
We could hear on the radio that yacht Gweno wanted to leave Peel at 2:30, and we managed to get into Peel Harbour on the 2:30 bridge swing. So when we arrived, we were allocated berth D74, and we found ourselves next to Yacht Puka Barn, owned by Gary Maguire, the area contact for the Irish Westerly Owners Group. We received a very warm welcome from Mary Buchanan, the Vice Commodore of the Westerly Owners Association, who gave us a goodie bag from Scotland, which included a rally banner, which we proudly flew in our rigging.